Week number 2. How time flies when you're having fun. That's what we do here in the LPL. My name's Lysterix. I'm joined by Lyric once again, and Lysterix is going to be taking you through a pretty jam-packed day of matchups I expect to be bloody, but also entertaining.
You know, every matchup, I'd say, is entertaining in some capacity here in the LPL.
Some of them are, sir. But some of them can take a while to get there. But here with IG and Suning, the matchup we have today will actually not be, in any case, boring. But let's talk about yesterday, because yesterday was as well a bit of a fun day for some fans.
Yesterday was a good day for Dagda and LGD as well.
Yeah.
Sadly, the big flow that fans of Victory 5 has gotten, we're a bit disappointed.
But I will say, still, a game off LGD, you have something to be happy about at V5. Their momentum may be halted, but not stopped.
They have not been 0-2'd yet. They've won a game in every series that they've played, so still pretty impressive.
Could still go to Worlds. We'll move forward because EDG and OMG, a very different story there with EDG finally giving us that 2-0 we expected at the start of the season.
Right. This was the expected result even after their loss to WE, where in my mind they were definitely the better team in that series, but WE did come out on top.
Yeah, there was a lot of questions after that series especially, but good to round it out here with now LGD sitting on top of the standings, but our standings are not anyway normal.
We have LNG, V5, WE, and LGD in the top 5.
The teams that were towards the bottom, 15th, 16th, and 17th in spring.
Yeah, not much else to say. Maybe some shockers like, you know, FPX and IG right now towards the bottom, but maybe not shocker for some fans.
Another shocker, I mean, teams like OMG sitting 0-3 as well. We didn't expect them to have that rough of a start. I think LPL always surprises, and coming into the summer season, we've got very different haymakers being thrown, like here today. Now, we are starting off with Suning and IG, but later on, match of the week in JDG versus Top Esports, our 2020 Spring Grand Final rematch. And baby, that was a good series.
I'm just ready for some high society aesthetics. But like you said, gonna start off with Suning IG, which me and you were the casters here for that in spring.
Yeah, we were, and that series itself was a lot of fun to watch. With Suning and IG, let's not forget that, you know, these are two teams that were bloodthirsty hungry. And at the end of the day, it was a very different matchup because of the way these teams were in spring versus now. Let's start with IG, though, because IG have had one significant roster change towards the jungle. Everything else has stayed the same, but Le Yen going over to Vici Gaming means now it's only Ning.
I don't actually feel like this change means too much for IG.
Really?
Le Yen, very promising jungler, but his style did not fit the way IG played. IG really need a jungler that's just going to sacrifice absolutely everything to make sure that their laners get what they need. And, you know, they're sticking with Ning. Ning has shown the ability to do that in the past. The question is, can he get in form and, you know, bring them to that World Championship level that they've been before?
More like when we were doing a rehearsal before, you were talking about Ning in spring and what we actually saw in his brief run before they ran all the way through with Le Yen.
He did play 6 series. They started off 5-0, and then they finally lost to E-Star, and it just really looked like they didn't prep for E-Star. And then they finally said, hey, we have our first loss, let's put in Le Yen. But 5-0 start with Ning in spring, pretty promising.
So you want to look towards Ning and also see the consistency that is not often talked about with Ning. You look towards the top side as well, and while we are looking at Ning, you have to add in his other element, which is the Shy, who right now is playing his League of Legends to a T. Chat, you know exactly what I'm talking about right here. This is what's happening with IG's top laner, who has a lot of question marks.
And the Shy's always played on a knife's edge. We've always justified it by saying, oh, this is just the way IG plays.
Yep.
You know, the positives and negatives have always been there, but there's not even a way to explain the circumstances and debts that he's creating. In their loss to WE, which wasn't on an English day, his team's about to posture to get Dragon. He's seen diving Ornn in the bot lane, dies, and, you know, gives up the Dragon.
I mean, the Shy has a lot of question marks next to him, again, to state the obvious. The kills and deaths, a lot of people will be saying, well, is that legit? Is that a competitive stat?
Yeah, he's I think there's also 36 assists, so he's a 0.8 KDA, you know, in the past 10 games.
It's not looking good for him, and especially when his career deaths and kills is still massively outweighed at this point in size of deaths.
Yeah, the Shy, this one's a big question mark, right? When you have a guy who was the best top laner in the world and arguably just one of the best players in League of Legends history, period, you know, what's the quick fix? What can you do going forward?
He's been outweighed. People like 369 and Zoom, who you'll see later, have taken up that mantle, and now the Shy drops down. We need to see old the Shy come in for IG to have a bit more prominence, because at the moment, it feels like Rookie is carrying this team. There is that man in the mid lane who's trying to bring up the rest of Invictus Gaming.
Going all the way back to playoffs when they were playing against TS, Rookie was opting into a lot of neutral skill matchups and was pretty much outlaning Knight every single time.
Yep.
At MSC as well, he was the only member of this team that showed up, and I felt really bad for Rookie's back. He definitely needs a chiropractor after the performances he's been putting on.
He's been looking so great. The champion pool as well extended, and we're seeing Rookie who, I don't know, playing some of his best League of Legends despite the fact of IG.
It definitely feels like a throwback to Season 5, Season 6, where it was Rookie against the world. And even against WE in their loss, he was completely destroying Teacher Ma. He single-handedly kept that series close to where IG could have won both of those games.
Because I remember at MSC, or at least, no, we were actually filming the next state of the podcast, the last hit that's going to be coming out soon. And we were talking about mid laners, and you still put Rookie pretty damn high on that list.
Rookie's top 2 in my mind. Even Knight came out after the playoff match against him and said, yeah, Rookie completely outlaned me, in that series. He's just so good. I still look up to this guy so much.
Which is going to be massive. I've been told we are moving forward to lineup. So we have to talk about Suning a little bit before we get forward into this series. And Suning's recent start has been pretty strong despite the JDG loss. Suning sitting 2-1. Much higher than we expected.
Even their JDG loss, right? Both of those games are competitive that they could have won.
Yeah.
And for me, the big difference in this team is the meta's looking a bit better for them. SOFM on the Graves, the Kindred, these types of picks really suits his style. Bin obviously coming into form after getting so much practice with the team.
Yes.
And even just their team fighting as a unit looking so much better.
I mean, Bin moving away from Bubu, who of course went over to the side of Victory 5. Now Bin the starting top laner, the only top laner. A lot more prominence shown here from Suning. And while we do take a closer look at Suning, you have to also remember that going up against IG here today, it's going to be a different story. But the recency of Suning gives us hope that this matchup might be a bit more close than we first thought.
Suning's looking like a potential playoff team. I feel like nailing down that, 5th through 8th spot, or even 4th at this point. We have a clear top 3 teams, I'd say, but past that, really hard to nail down who's where. And obviously, the cornerstone of this team in spring and now really has been Huanfeng. He's looking like a star level 80 carry. Of course, the interesting thing is he's coming from the IG Academy system.
The one that won LDL 2019 summer.
Exactly. So we have big expectations for this roster, especially now that SOFM and Bin are really coming into their own.
And you have to look towards Suning as we get closer towards heading into this game. How will they go against Invictus Gaming here today? And again, we've got some key players from Suning. We've got one key player from the side of Invictus Gaming. And Rookie versus the world cannot say this heavier, right? At this point, how do Invictus Gaming win this game? Well, you look towards that mid laner, carrying them on their backs.
Yeah, this is all about Rookie. I feel like this whole split for IG is going to be about Rookie. Rookie versus the world. Just look at Ning and the Shy's face.
That's what it feels like, right? It's the 1 versus 7, plus maybe depending on how Puff and Southwind go. Rookie versus World, Lyric, he said it so well.
He was on stream after MSC and someone asked him, hey, you should review the games from MSC. And he's like, sorry, guys, I only review games where there's something I could take away to do better.
Oh, man. And that's very fair with the performance we've talked about on and off again. Or sorry, over and over again, rather, at the start of this segment.
Hey, but on the side of Suning, you got to feel pretty good that, you got 2 reinforcements on the opposite side of the rift.
7 people on the rift here for Suning. As we're taking a closer look at Suning. You're seeing Cha Xiao on your screen there before Fluid Wind and also Coach Fly.
I do want to bring up something that IG have also brought back. Coach Chris was a coach for them back in Season 6 and 7. Of course, was the coach for LGD when they won the split and went to Worlds.
So a bit more veterancy here on the roster of IG. They need strength. They're starting on the red side as we're still in patch 10.11, ladies and gentlemen. So 10.12, I'm sure, will progress shortly. But at this point, it's the same patch you know and love. You know what the priority picks are. And the LPL is not going to give one of them in the virus as usual.
I expect Suning to go towards the Aphelios. They've actually opted for Aphelios more than the Ezreal. We've had kind of teams that are very clear and they prefer Ezreal or Aphelios. Huanfeng's already played the Aphelios 4 times, but I do like the Ezreal pick. It also opens up for a Yuumi on the second rotation, which of course is just very strong.
We also know that Huanfeng last year when he made his debut was looked at as an Ezreal player heavily too, when the meta wasn't always towards it.
He was a bit of an Ezreal player, right? He played it a few times, did have some hype clips, but I'd still say he definitely was more geared towards these champions that could really... I don't want to say that could take over the game like Aphelios because he's pretty much the only one that fits that category. Very standard red 1-2 for IG, though.
Yeah, Trundle and LPL as usual. SOFM, he's a big Lee Sin player. Wouldn't be surprised to see him lock that one in.
And yeah, look, see, they're already building towards this type of poke comp. And you know what actually shuts us down very good would be if Rookie can pull out something like a Twisted Fate.
Okay.
Twisted Fate's ultimate just does so well against poke comps. You have a pretty easy laning phase against the Zoe as well, but that doesn't seem very Rookie-esque. I'd say.
They've taken away the Syndra from him, Syndra being a big
You
pick
could also just take Thresh here. Thresh has still been left open. Does very well with the Aphelios. You ban out Blitzcrank in the second rotation, and there's really no bad matchups left.
Also remember talking about Sword Art with this Thresh pick, but instead it's going to be the Nautilus taken for Southwind with the option available for Sunny.
So back in spring, Southwind was pretty much just a one-trick Braum in my mind, which is another reason why IG have probably fallen out of favor since teams have stopped doing that, since you realize Bard, Yuumi, even Lulu, globally, picks that do very well into Braum. Not been much of a big playmaking support. Maybe that's something we need to see out of Southwind this year to kind of take the pressure off of Rookie.
Because he was the lead in that bottom lane. It was always about Southwind rather than Puff, with Puff getting carried behind his support. So you've now taken away other options for the other support in Sword Art. No Yuumi available to pair on top of the Ezreal.
I'd expect the other ban here is probably the Karma, which, you do still have decent pressure on with the Nautilus from the kill threat, but banning out the Bard, it has actually been Sword Art's most played this split. He's played 4 games of Bard, which, people might think, oh, most played, there haven't been that many series. Suning have already played 3 series, so they've played a ton of games, actually.
And you said before, we haven't looked at Sword Art as a Bard player, right? So
no, Sword Art historically throughout his career has never been about the Bard, really been a huge Thresh and Alistar player back in the LMS. Obviously, Alistar not meta, but never gone towards this pick.
Threshes, though. Twisted Fate going to be taken away. To your earlier point of Rookie picking something that could influence the map. He doesn't have LeBlanc either. The neutralizing lane now looked at.
Yeah, Rookie, even in solo queue, Rookie's been playing a ton of Jace, Syndra, and Zoe, so obviously 2 of those are off the table. They still can opt into a Jace and actually flex that. Would be kind of weird because you're going up against a poke comp, so picking less efficient poke. Yeah, so picking up the Orianna will go. You don't really have anyone to combo with, no ball delivery system. I guess Nautilus in a sense, but Rookie's always just been so good on the champion, you don't necessarily need that with him.
We've seen a lot of it in the LEC. We're actually talking about this before broadcast, but here in the LPL, Orianna doesn't come around as much as you'd think. So for Rookie, speciality with one of the replays we saw, while on the side of Suning, starting to build up some of this engage with the flex potential of the set. Let's be honest, we haven't seen set in a solo lane that much.
Yeah, I expect it to go into the support role and then Bin probably going to pull out something new. He could still go towards that Renekton. He has played the Aatrox twice, but Wukong has really been his go-to pick. You would want something maybe with a bit of disengage, but really in this meta we don't have top lanes with disengage unless you want to go with the Phasrus Gragas, which has been huge in solo queue, but hasn't made its way onto stage.
Yeah, not yet. We'll see. I know you guys, you Colorcast have been talking about that a little bit. The Aatrox, sorry to disappoint guys, will be the final lock-in to round out Suning, which have a pretty standard draft. While for Invictus Gaming, hovering around the possibility of the Shy's Jace once again.
So,
mid lane win game.
The Shy in solo queue has only been playing Jace and 80 carries. Also plays Akali into Camille, which, is a counter matchup. Yep. So the Shy always going to go towards something that is more comfortable. On the side of Suning, we do have this comp that has a lot more aspects of a poke comp, but is also very brawly, can get in there and skirmish with the Aatrox in the set. Obviously, no reliable engage, so it's going to be very reliant on flanks.
It's like vision for IG is going to be a bit of priority. We'll come back to Suning, because for Invictus Gaming, you've got a measure of both here, right? You got Jace in the top lane for the Shy, but all round, great all-in potential.
Your only real all-in is at Nautilus, right? So that's actually going to be the difficult thing, is how are you going to lock down Angel or Huanfeng going into this game? Obviously, you do have a ton of scaling on that side, though, with the Aphelios, the Trundle, the Orianna. So for IG, it's going to be all about the later stages of the game, but even then, can you get on Suning's comp?
I mean, coming into this segment, coming into this matchup, we talked about what IG need to do while Rookie is carrying the team and has been, feels like for a while now. The Shy needs to perform better. He's on a pick that needs to perform the lane and then move around the rest of Invictus Game.
You actually don't really want to move around. We do want to see Ning play towards the top side, but just get Jace that advantage, let him start taking down plates and then snowballing into the mid stages of the game. Obviously, IG's draft and their play style have always just been about getting favorable lane matchups.
Let me just reiterate. Maybe the Shy just needs not to die as much as he's been doing. Simple.
I feel like when you're put on this Jace, just not dying isn't enough. Like, let's say he goes even in this matchup, going into the mid stage of the game, he's just going to be, kind of a nicer minion. I
feel like I've set a pretty low bar here. We'll run into Summoner's Rift, IG Suning. Remember in spring, this one was bloody and the Shy put on a masterclass, even on something like the Ornn. Now on the Jace, we're looking at Invictus Gaming with very critical minds. A team that's already started off the split 0-1 by getting pummeled by Team WE. Suning, 2-1 start. They've played a lot of series, but they've come rolling here towards the top of the standings. And as now we're on to Summoner's Rift, we're going to see if this matchup is weighed in Suning's favor or if IG can find that resurgence to kick off their split.
I really want to see... Ooh.
Sword Art. Okay, he's of course going to start the Phase Breaker here. Puff won't have to flash yet, but it is Phase Rush and a bit of damage on top of Puff, who won't really be able to back here at this point, but it's going to do it anyway. Maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong quite a lot here today already. Now, runes. Anything that interests you, Lyric?
No, everything's pretty standard, especially since we've started to see more Zoes go towards that...
Unsealed Spellbook.
Unsealed, thank you so much. I'm
Hey, dude, it's a rough start, dude. I was talking about Jace grouping, forgetting names of Unsealed Spellbook. That's okay. It's our first game. We haven't been together for a while, have we?
It has been.
How long's it been? At least 2 days?
It's been quite a long time.
Hey,
I mean, we didn't cast yesterday. We didn't cast on Wednesday.
When did we cast last?
Tuesday.
Hey, that's at least a week.
I want to see what Ning ends up doing here because you could look for like a level 2 gank mid, try to get that flash blown from Angel, and then have Rookie pretty much control the lane for the next 5 minutes. Or is he going to go, looks like a single target clear, which will bring him back towards the top side because, again, you really want to start influencing this top lane matchup.
I mean, we'll get spotted out if he goes anywhere past those single buffs as well. Note that there is an early ward put down towards bottom side river. None from IG. Defensive ward up towards the top side to see if SOFM goes for an invade now. SOFM as a jungler, very aggressive, very targeted towards getting a bit of a power clear and getting his own lead.
Yeah, but instead he's actually going to full clear as the Lee Sin, so not feeling any...
Yeah, I know you're looking for a trade here. Just an auto attack in the end, half health each. As Unsealed Spellbook both, it's a flash forward on top of Puff. Heal has to be burnt. The Haymaker, I believe, a bit short there after the Ignite, and Puff will survive.
Sword Art playing so well, though, and I have a lot of question arts from Sword Art. Sword Art's still going.
I think, was Ning spotted out? Maybe not. Huan Feng left out here. He's going to walk back to lane.
But he's in a really awkward position, actually. Yeah. Even Lee Sin's nearby.
And so because Ning's down there, they don't spot out Sword Art making the roam. Remember, Facebreaker is there. Angel with a Sleepy Trouble Bubble needs to hit, but instead, the damage comes out of this set support while Flash burnt in the bottom lane. That was awkward in both lanes.
Yeah, so they opt into having Sword Art go for the roam when the lane state isn't that good, but still, you're an Ezreal, so you can play back in the lane, so it's a bit of a misstep from Huan Feng, and I don't know, that was really interesting from Ning. Didn't amount to anything.
As we're looking towards the top side now, the Shy gets low, not really enough mana to follow forward, but he does his combo and Bin heals up. The Shy at 1/4 health.
I mean, this matchup is Jace favored. Obviously, early on, you are ranged against melee matchup. It is another reason you take the phase rush, because obviously, if Aatrox can all in you, he can come out ahead, but that was really just a Shy, you know, misstepping and getting hit by absolutely everything Aatrox has to offer.
Again, follows the story of what the Shy is now versus what he was. Top lane CS even here as SOFM's down towards the bottom side. Gonna be spotted out here, I believe, Lyric, because Puff is really far up in this lane, has the Graviton, but no, they're not going to commit. Sword Art used his flash earlier.
SOFM missed his Sonic Wave as well.
Okay.
And actually, moving back towards the top side, we can see that IG, once again, just hard playing for the Shy, does recall, buys the call, and immediately TPs back to lane. So he's going to have a slight item advantage now. Of course, he's going to have 3 corrupting pots, no pots on the side of Bin. So this is where we need to start seeing an advantage built.
Also, remember there's biscuits there as well, just to add insult to injury. Ning sticking around on this top side. Does put a ward towards the top side river. Excuse me, it's actually a Scuttle Crab. Now that SOFM is here as well, level 4 Lee Sin, positioning around that shadow opportunity for that top lane.
Yeah, I want to see Ning go up, do his Krugs, and then shadow top side, see the Shy get down his control ward, and then, again, start playing aggressively for these plates, and maybe even Ning come for a game, because it does look like the wave's going to push into the Shy. It's actually thinning it out, so probably not, actually.
A very stable early game for a team like IG, Luke.
Stable's a good word, but it's definitely been a very eventful early game, especially from what we've seen from Sword Art.
I'm still sticking with stable, though. You're right about eventful. Notice that those summoners towards the bottom side we saw burnt are still on a bit of a cooldown there with Ignite for Sword Art, but we're focusing towards SOFM, who's going to go towards a jungle that is completely empty. Ning is also backing away. Just gets the control ward down, walks away through mid, and a bit towards the bottom side to clear instead.
Overall, I feel like you're fine if you're IG with how the early game's gone so far, right? We've already talked about it. Orianna, Aphelios coming in, the Trundle as well.
What needs to get rolling here? Where is the momentum need to be shifting? Or rather, who needs to start this early to mid-game off with a bit of a snowball, sir?
I want to see Suning start playing around their strong pick potential from mid-jungle to try to translate that into some pressure on an objective.
Okay. As you've seen already, Angel, if we're talking about mid-jungle, at least just this mid laner, Angel has a shove in, but IG, meanwhile, with the bottom side push that came through Puff and Southwind, will start the Dragon Infernal to kick us off, but I don't think this is going to go blindly through. Speaking of blind, in SOFM goes, but it is taken away. No steal for you. Ignite down, flash over, chop for first blood. Teleport being used here by Rookie as well, but that'll just get him back to lane, and that's a net win for IG.
And that was pretty disappointing on the side of Suning, though, because Angel had full priority in mid lane. We obviously saw that Suning's bot lane was able to follow. Had Angel moved a bit earlier, they coordinated that a bit better. I actually feel like that could have been a pretty good skirmish for the side of Suning.
And you had Angel who's level 6 as well for the range advantage, but instead they go quietly into the night as Troll Bubble's going to miss here once again. Rookie does have the Shockwave available. Angel, not much in the mana bar.
He's probably just going to push and then look to recall. Is going for these aggressive trades now.
But Southwind's here. He's made the roam. Shockwave comes through, but Ignite is down as well. Zoe has the heal. Flash away by Rookie. Southwind, does he have the damage as a support right here? Needs a dredge line to pull back in Angel, but the minion wave coming forward. Rookie low enough as it is.
Still very close from Angel. I think SOFM might just be able to come and find this.
Yeah, he's got positional advantage here. Rookie still low, not in a minion wave to take, but he misses a Sonic Wave. Cripple to find its mark, but Southwind still with the re-engages, then gets Great Pillar. Flash burnt by Angel, and Rookie gets the kill. Suning making some big mistakes here.
And that's twice this game with SOFM missing the critical cues, and IG just finding themselves in a much better position than we set up for them this game.
Because the one thing is, if you talk about Invictus Gaming, if you want to pile on these high-risk, high-reward situations, in the past, IG have always been the team that'll take that trade.
Yeah, they've always been happy to do that. And Rookie getting a bit, I don't want to say outplayed, because just Zoe, doing Zoe things, picking up those nice summoner spells and out-trading quite well, which, going back to spring, I don't know if you remember, we have that famous Rookie clip of him solo killing Angel. Rookie was on the Jace, Angel was on the Zoe. And yeah, here we just see SOFM come in, tries to land that Sonic Wave, of course, misses. Ning does come in time. Angel has no mana left. SOFM already burned every cooldown. Southwind flashing in, and the W coming out from Rookie securing the kill.
That was kind of nice. That was like near perfect timing as well. So props here to the mid laner and the combination of Southwind roaming up to the mid lane. He's been everywhere so far in this early game. Now currently around that Rift Herald, which is being started by SOFM. The ward's been put down, but Ning doesn't look like he wants to go there just yet.
It's also pretty awkward because Suning's bot lane is coming off of a base, so you don't know where they are as IG. But obviously Puff was just in the bot lane, so you don't want to risk a numbers advantage fight.
Especially not with Bin joining this and making this a little bit quicker. So this is going to be Rift Herald, first one of the game, or should I say series, going over to Suning as Huan Fong has made the trade up as well. Looks like we're committing to changing lanes on the side of Suning.
Yeah, and it's interesting because we just have the Shy picking up the serrated Dirk, so this is where he'd start being able to bully in the straight 1v1, but Suning finding a way around that.
For now, at the very least. You're talking about the mid-jungle 2v2 here for Suning before. Now that it's been influenced with the gank through the mid lane and the change of lanes, what happens next?
To be honest, when you do have the Orianna Trundle, right, that's not much of a mid-jungle 2v2 on their side. And now that SOFM has picked up this Herald, I feel like it's just going to be about getting plates onto your Ezreal.
Got to pause there for a second. Sword Art gets phase rush, can't get onto the Shy. Paying a bit of respect here, while IG towards the bottom side, they'll be able to get a turret plating or two. But you mentioned the Rift Herald before. It's obviously going to be much quicker with the Bulwark bonus.
Still, even going back to that initial base coming out from Suning's bot lane, Huan Fong ended up missing a bunch of CS on the bot side to where IG's bot lane has obviously missed out on none, and they should probably still be the ones to pick up first turret.
As Sword Art narrowly misses out there. Kick back into the turret here. Sonic Wave. Good little face breaker as Sword Art gets jumped on as well. Hammered back, but the Shy can't make that outplay happen. It will be first turret blood here to the side of IG's bottom lane. But you look top, you look at the kill with Rift Herald now placed down.
The disappointing thing is, had the Shy just been a bit more patient, Southwind was going to come. So obviously the Shy just having confidence in an outplay, hoping that he can stop them from getting the turret down low enough to take it. And even with him dying, we're in that scenario. So the Shy just giving over a free kill.
Yep, he's going to come back in about 2 seconds now. Southwind does deny the Rift Herald, and teleport going to be used by the Jace. So first turret wasn't actually achieved, or rather a trade in turret by Suning.
interesting because the Shy actually bought an Executioner's Calling, refunded it, and then picked up the Caulfield. So instead just wanting to get closer to that first item power spike.
Note as well that IG, 2K gold ahead on the top of your screen at 10 minutes. Ocean's coming up in about 20 seconds, but considering that Suning are backing here, that you can see everyone rotating down to the bottom side, looks like IG have priority.
It's actually strange because with the fact that he did just finish that Caulfields, went back up top, he used his teleport. So Suning could have said, hey, you've committed this man to topside. We're just going to 5-man dragon, look for this play. They decide not to. And like you said, if IG wanted to, they could have already started this Drake.
And look, they're heading towards it now. Rookie actually pushes out the wave, gets turret plating as well. Sword Art going to be spotted out on the top side. So committing to the dive slash the first turret take for Suning. Meanwhile, sacrificing quite a lot.
And IG going to be making their way towards the Mountain Soul. Of course, that's just going to be nice up against the poke coming out from the side of Suning.
All right, Bin's pretty tanky. As inner turret going to be contested. Ning is walking down towards the bottom side, but Rookie's backing. And at this point, just a bit of damage on the turret seems to be all you can get, while for Suning, they finally get that topside turret themselves. The wave is crashing in. Suning committing towards the top side with assistance pings coming down.
I expect them to just rotate towards mid. Rookie coming from base. I feel like they can deduce that he's going to go cover the Shy.
I hate this champion.
And looking towards mid, Rookie already having the Luden's Echo to where Angel's still only sitting on those components.
We don't normally see the Luden's Echo anymore. It's more about the hose coming through, but I guess okay, Shockwave instead going to come through. Angel, is he going to get solo killed? No, he flashes away. The command dissonance almost finds its mark, and once again, Angel getting PTSD.
Two really close solo kills this game from both mid laners, and Angel's actually had a bit of a quieter split so far, right? He's kind of struggled in lane, which I'd say last split we did see SOFM put a bit more emphasis on mid lane, to where this split we've seen him look towards top, and no really stand-out games coming out from Angel other than his one game on the castle.
Strange, because the dynamic was very different as SOFM chunked once. We just keep looking back towards mid lane because IG, being 3K gold ahead, find turret plate after turret plate. Look at the shine. The top lane as the engage comes through. The kick onto Pup, but SOFM gets low. Over the wall, they'll find the engage on top of Pup, but a good dredge line to come through as the set ulti with the face breaker into the backline. Suning may have found Pup, but they've committed so much to an 80 carry they can't kill. Rookie over the wall expends the last of his mana to do some dirty damage. And Suning once again lose the trade.
And let's remember, IG's comp is completely okay with this. They have a lot of AoE damage coming out from Pup and Rookie, but they don't have consistent engage. So if Suning are the ones running into them, that feels great for IG.
So much burnt to find the most fed member on Summoner's Rift, and Puff survives. You see his gold towards the left-hand side of your screen. A 1-0-80 carry with Infinity Edge leading the charge alongside the Shy, surprisingly enough.
Also going to be really rough for the side of Suning because, again, this more like pseudo-poke composition is a lot more of a tempo-based comp. You need to be able to move first, get the vision down, get on the objective first to lay down that poke. And Jace is always going to be able to outpush Aatrox in a side wave. Orianna able to instantly clear waves. And SOFM looking for it. Does get chunked real low. I like the confidence coming out from Bin, but once again, IG's composition loves when Suning are the ones running into them. Even Angel getting very close. Puff surviving by, you know, just the edge of a knife. And
Southwind too.
Yeah, both of them get out alive, and they do pick up one kill, and they're the ones on the way to Dragon Soul.
Eyes to the scoreboard, ladies and gentlemen. It's only 1-3, and you might say it's an IG game. Why aren't there more kills? Well, IG have been dominating through these lanes, almost up 5,000 gold at 15 minutes. Now pushing into the enemy jungle with the Rift Herald sitting there as SOFM will get the kick back. Sword Art has to make his way over to this jungle, but Ning can just walk past the turret. Now it's about Suning finding the re-engage.
Ooh, but IG's here, actually.
They don't find Sword Art. Important face breaker coming up as Puff walking away. Ning, they're just going to accept he's dead at this point. Against the wall, and the kill does go over to the Lee Sin, so probably not the most optimal, but Suning do find the jungler.
Rookie and the Shy were in the mid lane, but this actually should translate to IG picking up a mid lane turret. Still, though, Suning will be able to start Herald.
Yep.
So hopefully should be able to theoretically get that gold in return somewhere else later on.
Curious if IG are able to set up off the mountain in 40 seconds from this.
Ning is going to be alive, so the fact that Suning are on the top side now, everyone from IG can just come from base, get that vision set up for the Drake, and
look at the bottom right hand of your screen, 1,900 gold. They almost picked up 15 bits of tower plating. It has been a while since we've seen a number that close.
It is a bit like the fact that we're at 5K at 16 minutes. This is very reminiscent of spring regular split IG.
It's a much cleaner Invictus Gaming. Granted, there were some, moments up towards the top side with the Shy where he picked up that death when it was meant to be a cleaner trade. We're seeing an Invictus Gaming that are heightened here in Game 1.
Yeah, I would say earlier on we would have liked to see SOFM and Angel look more for the mid-jungle 2v2 and move that up towards the top lane and try to punish the Shy.
But Sword Art walking into the enemy territory. It's not his anymore. The showstopper into the back line, but dead. Dissonance again. Rookie level 11. He's already used a shockwave, but the damage that comes out of this IG roster is massive right now. Another member bites the dust in Bin as Graviton finds its mark. IG with 2 more. The mountain was theirs before. It definitely is now.
Yeah, IG are just so far ahead, having that one Infernal, and then, of course, having those item advantages from being 6K up. So easy to get these fights, especially once again, Sword Art is the one trying to find the pick onto IG.
SOFM just gets solo killed by the Shy. The camera didn't have time for that one.
I mean, we look at SOFM's build. He only has a jungle item, hasn't even finished his next item, his Black Cleaver, compared to the Shy, who is sitting on his Ghost Blade as well as one serrated Dirk. So
this is a spanking. This is an IG spanking that, let's be real, coming into this series, we didn't expect IG to perform like this.
IG is so confusing, right? Because we talked about this, like you said, we filmed an episode of The Last Hit, and they're such a hard team to gauge because they obviously have the players that have had the high highs in the past to where it's hard to criticize their style, which, again, I'd say if you show any analyst or coach, they're going to say, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is not how you play League of Legends.
Yeah.
But when it's been done successfully, it's so hard to criticize, and they could show up on any day. Even if maybe you can look at Suning and say, hey, they could have done X, Y, and Z better.
I know you're talking a lot about that mid-jungle 2v2.
Which, to be fair, early on in the lane, right, Trundle does have a strong levels 1 through 3 against the Lee Sin, so you actually do have the priority there, but once SOFM does hit that level 5 and level 6 mark, that's when I'd love to see Angel just use it, throw out a Paddle Star, clear out the wave, and put some threat onto the Shy.
But we never got there. I mean, Southwind was constantly hovering around mid and top when he hit that 4, 5, 6 mark. So it's been a really good game from Southwind. He's got the 3 assists to boot to add a bit of insult to injury against Suning. We're keeping track of those dragons because for now, we've got 3 minutes 45 to wait before the Mountain Soul comes up. But IG with a 6K gold lead, hovering around Vision, and Southwind says go. Pillar against the wall, Bin can't escape. Rookie with 3 kills this game, and again, leading the charge. This one Fong has to pay respect to this massive Orianna.
IG right now just being so decisive, they actually might find more. Because Sword Art and SOFM are in a really awkward position.
That was setting up for the flank before, but Bin just got caught out first with the flash in hand as Puff's going to pick up the turret on top of that.
But look at the Shy. Yeah, I'm glad the camera shows him. Just taking that inhibitor turret in the bot side for free. Bin's still dead, so realistically there is no way Suning can answer.
But the Shy, whoa, as he misses that one onto Juan Fong. If he hits with the 2 lethality items plus a tier, that Jace is going to pretty much one-shot you at this point.
Going back to the early game, I also really like the way the Shy and Ning played out the early laning phase. Yeah. Ning going for that single target clear. Lee Sin, realistically not a jungler that's going to be able to gank you at level 2, and then just shadowing for the Shy to get that early reset, TP back, get that control ward placed, having that safety to play out the lane the way he wanted.
You talked about an early laning phase. That's been the problem for the Shy. First 15 minutes of the game have been atrocious for him in that top lane.
It has, and even this game, we saw him kind of losing out on some early trades, but didn't matter. Again, got the recall, came back with the item advantage, and was able to get in a good place once he started getting those lethality items to where he could abuse Bin, but we actually haven't even really seen him lane against Bin. Bin has been avoiding him pretty much this whole game.
Because at this point, you see the 30 CS lead, you see the item disadvantage that Bin's at. Clearing out, backing away, because right now that's all Suning can do, as IG are constantly waiting in the shadows of the rift. And Suning, as they should be, scared to walk out.
Right now, IG, their composition is very straightforward, right? They need these 5v5 team fights. It's going to be all about neutral objectives.
As Pillar's going to land here, Angel against a wall, flashes away from the dissonance. That's half health off one small combo from Rookie. Baron's there, remember. And Suning might have to keep checking this one because Vision's getting cleared out.
And that was just kind of a facepalm moment coming up from Suning where Angel's waiting in that brush for so long, and they end up, control warding it after he gets Pillar to blow the flash.
There's trouble going to land. That means nothing at this point, though. Suning do have some defensive vision, but now Baron is completely cleared away. IG moving in the skirts here as here's the Sonic Wave, isn't resonating strike. Rookie over the wall, but he survives. Shockwave gets SOFM, and that's the blunder. Over the wall, IG are too damn far forward. As never mind, because Ning is so tanky. The Shy walking forward yet again. Bin takes a shock blast without the acceleration gate as Ning cleans up the rest. 2 more kills, IG survive, and this could just be the nail in the coffin.
And Ning's having a really good game coming into this series. We said Ning was the player that really needs to step up and can make or break IG. We know what their bot lane's going to do. We know Rookie's going to play well, but on the side of IG, it is all about this jungler. He's doing so good, and even the shot calling really being on point from IG this game.
It's been a clean game 1 for Invictus Gaming. I didn't expect IG to go up from their very first series. As we look back at this again, and SOFM thought he found Rookie.
Yeah, SOFM has been the one trying to find a lot of these engages. Goes in, Rookie flashes away. They burst him down instantly. Ning knows he has the damage to go in. Sword Art really does nothing to him, and just that ultimate coming out, finishing Angel off is absolutely beautiful.
Subjugate and Red Buff combined do a bit of a bucket load here for this press the attack Trundle. He's 2 levels over SOFM, and coming back to your point about Ning, he has been the better jungler this game. He has been on point, and now showing it here with Mountain Soul on the horizon. Going to be hard for Suning to stop this one.
Yeah, maybe if you're Suning, you just look for a steal, but
yeah, there's a flash one. Fong tries the Arcane Shift away as the Shockwave comes in, and there you go. Mountain Soul, unless SOFM can steal this.
You have the execute on your Q. It is always a 50-50, but you're not going to get that Q, so should just be an IG Dragon, but they're taking it very patiently.
They are. They're waiting for Suning to overstep, and that Shock Blast says, SOFM, I dare you.
And they just keep going, and yeah, I like this. Just block it as Southwind. They secure the Dragon. Rookie posturing so far forward aggressively, and now they just have to go back to the setup they have the Shy push out a side lane, the other group up is 4, you can have the Shy even just solo push one lane, rotate over, lay down that Shockwave.
I mean, at this point, it might not even matter because he's teleporting in, and Invictus Gaming love to fight. They're going to show us how. Over the wall, SOFM looking for escape, but he's dead while we look back to Bin, who's just getting pummeled against the wall. Running away, that's what he'll do. But IG group is 5, and they say the bottom turret is how we'll end this game.
They actually might even just be able to keep going. They're definitely tanky enough to try and dive these Nexus turrets if they want.
Inhibitor goes down. Shockwave is the first blunder of the game, but it doesn't really matter at this point. He still does so much damage. Nexus turret's the focus, and Sword Art needs one hell of an engagement. Never mind, your mid lane is dead. Angel back to the fountain as Bin and Huan Feng watch in awe as Invictus Gaming finally show us what we saw in spring. The team that dominates the early game and shuts you up before you can have anything to say about it. Game 1 in the bag, SOFM onto Rookie, but he's dead by Puff. The Nexus theirs, 12-2, a 24-minute stop.
Even Southwind with those engages, constantly finding the picks with his Q, look really good coming in from them. And on the side of Suning, I'm really disappointed because we saw them find that early pressure in the bot lane from Sword Art's flash engage. They did get Puff to blow the heal. He even then made the roam mid, got some priority in the mid lane, and we didn't see them abuse this window with SOFM.
I mean, the expectation from Suning was that they would stand up here and most likely look like the better team with the start that they had in the LPL summer. So far, that was not the Suning we expected, but it was the back burner IG that come out from time to time.
Suning came into this series the favorite in my mind, but looking to draft, it does seem like IG got absolutely everything that they wanted. They got to pick their matchup in the top lane, got to pick their matchup in the mid lane. The only thing they didn't exactly control was, the support matchup, but still, you got the Aphelios, and Aphelios, Ezreal, both are very strong in this meta. I feel like you actually are happy with either one. And IG coming out on top.
And Puff just ended up farming and just doing what Puff does. I think Puff has shown us in spring that as an AD carry, he can be that stable member of the roster. A conversation we've talked about many times with Invictus Gaming, where the bottom lane is the stability that enables people like the Shy and, I guess, Rookie in a sense, play the way they do.
Like, let's be honest. Puff and Southwind have gotten a lot of criticism, but they've gotten so much criticism, I'd say in the same vein that you criticize someone like Xiaohu, where when you're on a roster that's expected to win LPL and potentially challenge for a Worlds or MSI victory, you can't just be, let's say, above average. Your fans want the best bot lane. They want the best mid laner in the case of RNG, so...
And that was clean. That was the best form of IG. Again, 24 minutes, 10 seconds. Everything taken, only 1 turret and 2 kills. to deny the perfect game.
And the damage is very showing that we did come in with the right story, that this team right now is the rookie show still. I'd say Ning and Southwind playing very good as well and enabling that to show through, but IG picking up their first win of the split.
And the Shy got more kills than deaths in that game. Now that's impressive, because recently we haven't been able to say that whatsoever.
We have not been able to say good things about the Shy in a very long time, so just happy he comes in. We see a few hiccups, but plays his laning phase generally well. Does get out, doesn't really have to interact much with the team. Has some very good shock blasts, which are shown by his damage, so overall did his job.
So for Invictus Gaming, I guess the tide's turned, and now after our, again, opening segment, which was all about IG, you know, letting down their fans and kind of letting down the LPL expectations, now that swings around, and if they play like that, that's an IG that we suddenly go, okay, scoot them back into the top 4. We think they're back to normal.
Judging IG is always going to be hard. I even think saying scooting back into the top 4 is fine. The question is, right, it's just always going to be hard to gauge this team and where they're going to end up from the way they play and the way that they draft, because they do still bring out constantly the same picks. The Orianna, the Jace. Like, we can try and predict them bringing out things like the Twisted Fate, like these meta options, but IG's always going to go back to what's comfort.
And they showed us there in game 1. Welcome back to IG, but see what Suning can bring as we go to a break heading into this second game.